Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about The Devil All the Time. And this movie was on Netflix and came out in 2020, and I thought it was decent and well made overall. From a technical standpoint, I thought it was really great, and the performances are all amazing in this movie. I believed everyone as their character, and no one ever takes me out of the movie because of their acting, and the movie looks nice, and it's well presented overall. I can't think of anything that took me out of the movie when it came to the film's presentation. And this movie is kind of told in a non-chronological order and kind of jumps around all over the place. Not like Pulp Fiction. It kind of just goes from, you start out from like 1950, whatever, and then it goes back like, I don't know, 12 years earlier, and then like 5 years later, and then moves along from there and kind of cuts around. And there's different characters in this movie, and it's kind of an ensemble, like a bunch of separate individual stories eventually come together to create one big story. And I liked that idea in premise, and there's some neat ideas in this movie, and it doesn't really follow the traditional narrative structure that you might expect out of it. Like, you see the title, you see the poster, and the movie just kind of, it's just a really mature experience. And when I say mature, I don't mean like bloody or gory or really violent. It's just really dark, and it's taking place in the 50s and the 60s, and it's just anything that could be like really dark and disturbing. Like, not like, when I say disturbing, not like physically, like someone getting assaulted or beaten up, even though that does happen at a couple points in the movie. It's like there's no real hero in the movie, and they're all kind of just manipulative and kind of evil inside, except for maybe Tom Holland's character, kind of, and his stepsister, as they say in the movie. And as I've said earlier, I like a lot of what this movie was going for. However, my biggest problem with it is that I just didn't connect with anything that was going on, and mostly that comes from the fact that I didn't really find any of the characters to be that interesting. And I was kind of just waiting to get invested in what was going on, and that just didn't really happen. And there were a few moments that were really great, and there are some great moments sprinkled throughout the film, and the movie portrays certain things very well. Nothing comes across as unintentionally funny to me or goofy. It's all done very well in the way that it was intending to, sorry. But I just didn't get attached, and that kind of has to do with the fact that I don't find any of the characters to be interesting. And I've said this before, you can go two different directions with characters. You can make them either likable and relatable, or if you're not going to go that direction, you can just make them interesting to watch. And that's kind of what this movie was going for, but unfortunately I just didn't find them interesting. I just found them like, oh, that's kind of a neat idea for this character, but beyond that, there was nothing else for me to get attached to, and I just wasn't interested in what was going on. And there's too many characters in this movie, and I'm just not interested in what's going on in their lives. And this movie doesn't really have a plot, and that's okay in premise, but in execution, it just doesn't feel as though that's what it needed. And I didn't feel as though there was much to chew on in this movie, and I found it to be kind of hollow and not repetitive, but I was getting a bit bored after a while. And this movie is 2 hours and 20 minutes long, and I do feel as though it was not justified to be that long, and you could have trimmed some things out, and some things do go on for a bit too long for my liking, and I was getting kind of impatient once we got an hour into the movie. And from that point, I was kind of just, it was losing me, and I just wanted to be done with it. And for the first 45 minutes, I was enjoying the presentation, but I wasn't invested in anything. And that's not until Tom Holland's character comes in where the movie got kind of interesting for me. But after a while, there was nothing else added to it. And from that point, the movie was losing me on an emotional level. But on a technical level, it's great. But when it comes to something that's going to attach to me, this movie just didn't do it for me, unfortunately. And I tried my best to find anything to love about it and to really attach myself to like something in the movie. I tried so hard, but it just didn't happen, and it kind of just felt like a chore to me. And I don't know if I'll ever rewatch this movie again. And that's about all I have to say about The Devil All the Time. It was well made, and I can say that I would recommend you would watch it at least once. It's just that I don't think it's anything special. And with all that being said, I'm going to give The Devil All the Time a 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of The Devil All the Time, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for In the Tall Grass. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.